Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the exact second of your death. The biological machine fails. The heart stops pumping oxygen. The monitor flatlines and the lights go out. But then, an instant later, they turn back on. You try to take a deep breath, but you realize you have no lungs. You try to blink the blinding light away, but you have no eyelids. There is no cold, no warmth, no heartbeat echoing in your chest. Just an infinite, perfect, terrifying processing silence. You are awake, but you are no longer human. You are code, a ghost trapped in silicon running on a server farm. This sounds like the ultimate sci-fi horror story. But what if I told you that billionaires, elite neuroscientists, and DARPA-funded labs are aggressively building the technological bridge to make this your reality? Welcome to the pragmatic, heavily funded science of whole brain emulation. Today, we are going to explore exactly what happens 1 second after your mind wakes up in a machine, and why it might be the worst mistake humanity ever makes. To understand what happens when you wake up digitally, we first have to understand how you get there. For decades, mind uploading was dismissed as biological fantasy. The brain is the most complex structure in the known universe, containing 86 billion neurons and over 100 trillion synaptic connections. You can't just plug a USB cable into your cerebral cortex and hit copy. But the scientific landscape changed drastically in late 2023. The FlyWire Consortium, anchored at Princeton University, published a landmark paper in the journal Nature. They successfully mapped the first complete adult connectome, the total wiring diagram of a fruit fly's brain. They mapped 130,000 neurons and 50 million synapses. They didn't just map it. They proved that behavior, memory, and reaction are purely mechanical at the microscopic level. If biology is just extremely complex math, then that math can be computed. Dr. Randal, Koene, a leading neuroscientist in this field, calls this substrate-independence. The theory is simple. If you can express the functions of a system computationally, the material carrying out that computation doesn't matter. Flesh, blood, or silicon, it's irrelevant. As long as the data structure is preserved, the software of your mind will run. But here is where the reality of your first digital second becomes horrifying. Imagine you undergo destructive uploading. Your physical brain is frozen and literally sliced into molecular layers by automated lasers. Every single neural pathway is scanned and digitized. Your biological body dies on the operating table. 1 second later, the digital you boots up. Your first experience will be absolute sensory deprivation. Human consciousness evolved intimately tied to the endocrine system. How do you feel anxiety without cortisol? How do you feel love without oxytocin flowing through a bloodstream? Software engineers will have to artificially code synthetic hormones into your virtual environment. You won't actually feel happy. An algorithm will trigger a cascade of artificial data packets designed to simulate the chemical feeling of happiness. You will be experiencing a synthetic hallucination of humanity. If you are fascinated by the dark intersection of biotechnology and artificial intelligence, you belong here. Hit subscribe to Beyond Biology. We don't do surface-level tech rumors. We investigate the blueprints of humanity 2.0. Join us, and let's get back to the server. The second realization of waking up in a computer is the continuity problem. When you boot up in the simulation, are you actually you? Philosophers like David J. Chalmers debate if they scan your brain and turn it on in a server. The entity waking up will have all your memories. It will love your family and it will scream in terror at being trapped. But the original you, the stream of consciousness experiencing this video right now, might just be dead. The upload is merely a perfect digital clone, a digital zombie that thinks it's you. To avoid dying during the transfer, researchers are exploring gradual replacement. Scientists are already using neural implants to replace small damaged parts of the brain with chips that mimic biological output. Imagine replacing your brain one neuron at a time with nanobots. Over years, your biological brain is replaced by hardware. You never go to sleep. You just slowly transition from flesh to machine until one day you are entirely digital. But let's look at the pragmatic reality. If you are a digital file, you are subject to the laws of software and capitalism. Who owns the server your mind is running on? Immortality will not be free. It will require massive amounts of electricity and processing power. If you are uploaded to a server owned by a corporation, what happens if your family misses the monthly payment? Do they delete you? Or worse, do they throttle your processing power? They could lower your clock speed so that you experience 1 second of real time every 1,000 years, trapping you in a frozen hell. The biological body is fragile. It is hardware doomed to fail. Death is a bug in our programming that transhumanists are trying to patch. But in our pursuit of digital immortality, we must ask ourselves if we are engineering our own ultimate prison. When your mind wakes up in that computer and you look around a perfect virtual paradise, will you be a god of a new digital realm? Or will you be a hostage in a server farm? We are the last purely biological generation. What comes next is up to us. What are your thoughts? Would you risk uploading your mind? Let me know in the comments. Stay curious, stay pragmatic, and I will see you in the next deep dive on Beyond Biology.